All right, so there's something important we want to talk about, and that's safety when it comes to fuel. I know this sounds so dumb to most people because it's that bravado that says, I don't need to do this. I don't need to wear hearing protection or eye protection. Don't be that guy. That guy's deaf right now. That guy is missing an eyeball. That guy has problems because he's foregone taking care of the safety precautions he should be taking care of. Gasoline, we're going to use clear gas with all of our tools. Any gasoline is systemic. The second it gets on your skin, it's going right through. It's transdermic. It's going to go right through your cell membranes and into your system. There are so many carcinogenic chemical compounds in gasoline by itself. It's an extremely hazardous product to any time for you to handle. So keep it off your skin at all costs if you want to protect yourself, and literally look into it. Every single chemical pesticide, herbicide, anything they use is made with a basis of gasoline byproducts because they're transdermic. They'll pass right through the cell membranes. They're systemic. They'll move through the whole system quickly, and there's not much you can do about that. So that's something that I want to talk to you guys about, is being safe when you're handling gasoline. And I'm using clear gas, and I just want to show off too, this is the kind of gas tanks that we like to use. They're 2.5 gallons, and we use an old Uline mailbox. They're plastic like this. They're really reinforced with handles. This one, I'll bet you, is 10 years old, and we're still using it as a saw box. We keep our oil in here. We've got our grease. You know, there's a couple of things that probably don't belong in here, like a bunch of old wedges and a few other things. And then here's something I like to use. So a long time ago, we did 2cycle with, just buying one of these containers. You put your pressure, put some pressure on it, and it fills up the 2cycle to the amount, the percentage, 2 per gallon that you're going to use. And these are kind of nice because it's got 50 to 1, 40 to 1. Now, whether you're using Still or if you're using Husky, it really depends, but they both like a little bit different. So 40 to 1 maybe for some brands. We're going to use 50 to 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to utilize this measuring tool to mix my gas before we get started today. And this makes it pretty easy. So it's 2.5 gallons. I'm going to fill it up to the 50. We like 50 to 1. And remember, this isn't for the guys that have been doing this for 100 years. This is for you new guys. If you're mixing, it's always better to be a little bit rich, meaning a little bit too much oil, 2cycle oil, than to too little. Too little, and you're gonna ruin your saws. Too much, a little bit too much, you might foul a plug or have some other minor issues. That's not the same as if you were to completely destroy your saw. Changing the plug out or something is not going to be a big deal. But anyway, I'm going to go up to 50 to 1 one time. Let almost all of that come out. I got 2.5 gallons, so I'm going to go 50 to 1 2 times. Now, a smarter guy than me is going to make this to where they don't have to do it this way. Just get the exact ratio figured out in ounces. Okay. So we've got 50 to 1 a second time. We had to stop for a second because getting a phone call. And then I'm going to go halfway because this is 2.5 gallons, 50 to 1. So I've seen people use a baby food jar and other methods like that, and I think that's really smart. Keep something that's it. Find a container that's gas approved. It's not going to break down with oil, not going to get corroded like certain types of plastics can. But keep a container with all of your saw stuff that's the same amount. Once you calculate the same amount of fluid ounces that you need to put enough 2cycle oil into your gasoline to make it right, and keep that on your stuff at all times. I'm actually making this more difficult than I should. I was just showing you another way to do it. But that's a good way to go. Then you just fill the container, dump it in, and you're ready to go, and you're not going to make a mistake. The mistakes can be pretty detrimental to all your machines. This is a lot of fuel to put through machines. Usually you'll notice it within the first 2, but sometimes you fill up all your machines right at the first part of the day and start using them throughout the day. There could be some pretty serious issues. Looks good. All right, so I filled this up. All I'm gonna do is cap it off and give it a little shake. And I don't like anybody to mess with me while I'm doing this because it's that important, and I want to make sure that I'm getting the measurements right. Then I'll make sure that I've done it and put everything back where it goes before I move to anything else. And I treat this like a very serious portion of the job for the day. You actually don't have to mix it up that much. I really like these gas jugs though. These ones we do the push handle. They're short spout. It's real easy to maneuver them and put them. You can fill almost anything with them real comfortably without making a mess. It's really nice. You don't want to get fuel on someone's yard when you're doing, especially somebody with nice grass, because that can kill it really easily. It won't happen right away. It'll take a week or two for it to present itself, but just a few days sometimes, and you're gonna have a big old patch wherever you filled your gasoline. So what we do is we do it up off of any hard surfaces because we don't want to leave an oil spill on anybody's concrete. We might do it in the median if there was a clear spot where it's not going to be a problem, or in some gravel is a good spot to do it, or on the chipper.
I think deck is the word I'm looking for here.
The flume. So anyway, just checking in with you guys. Take this stuff seriously. I'm even wearing my protection because I want to make sure that I'm protecting myself at all times. Protect yourself at all times.